If you are a leader of people, how do you lead effectively in difficult times? Well, in an interview I did with my former boss, who led me through a very difficult time, Claire Barker, who is a marketing leader within financial services, we went through this very topic as a look back at what was a tough time, the pandemic. I want to go back a little bit, if we may, just to kind of start of 2020, a kind of period of time that a lot of us have tried to block out of our lives, right? I had not long started working with you, and the next couple of years from there on in were probably the most challenging period I can remember working in a communications content environment ever, because of the pandemic, not because of the job.
Yeah, not because of
Yeah, not
me.
because of you. But I want to come on to that because actually what made it tolerable was the fact that you as a leader were so empathetic, and that was so key for me. But I would like to know, first of all, what do you think were some of the key lessons of working through that kind of crisis period, which lasted, we thought would last for a month or two, but ended up lasting for 2 years, right?
Yeah, well, I can answer that from two different approaches. The first one, which I think is really relevant to you, is it became quite clear to me quite quickly that men and women were dealing with lockdown in a different way. Men were going stir crazy a lot quicker. Certainly, if my team, were anything to go by, and that gave us a real opportunity, didn't it, to connect? Do you remember we did the wine tasting online, and then
I've still got some of them in the fridge, by the way.
That was.
I've still got two of them.
God, mine, it must be vintage. Mine is long gone. I can't believe it. Mine have long gone. And then the other thing from a work point of view was, how do you connect with an audience that traditionally has been face-to-face meetings, which of course in the world of investment management, you're always doing face-to-face. So we had to look really quickly at tools that were going to be the right tools for us to use, tools that weren't so complicated that nobody could work out how to use them, but were also robust and existed so that we knew the platforms were stable. So we made a decision to onboard a new tool, and most of the time it worked, but we did have those inevitable frustrations where, sometimes the audio wouldn't work, and that was a disaster for a guest speaker, and then you'd have angry people saying, I've given up time in my day, to come on. I completely understood all of that. So it was a real embryonic process of going into channels that traditionally we hadn't gone into. And I think the learnings for that when we came out the other side was there was a greater empathy between us as a team on what really kept people connected and actually keeping those things going. And then from a business, recognising that those tools and really the opportunity to engage online was never going to go away, right? This was a standard part of a communication toolkit, and actually a really good one for meeting people, bulk people quickly. But of course, warmly welcoming back the opportunity for clients and advisors to have face-to-face meetings again, which was sorely missed, indeed.
100%. It was such an exhausting time, and like I said, not necessarily because of work. It was just everybody was emotionally drained by basically because of the news all the time. It was getting worse and worse. For me, the overriding feeling I can remember from that period was just burnout the whole time. Not sleeping at night because we were worried about that kind of whole stir crazy thing, like you said, for me was a big thing. And I think
well, you love your travelling, you more than ever. It was real personal lockdown, wasn't it?
Absolutely. But like I said, I think what made the work tolerable is you as a leader were so empathetic.